Welcome back on our show. It's Can Sports Chatter, and it's time to talk wrestling with our next guest. It is Avery Hawkins, the head wrestling coach for Smith Center High School. Hey, Coach. I mean, you look at the KWCA rankings. You guys have done well throughout the season so far. You got a number of individuals that have really competed extremely well. But for you, like your outlook, I guess, on the season so far, like how has it looked for you?
Yeah, I think we've done a pretty good job this year so far. Early on, all we ask kids to do is compete. Nobody's going to be in good shape. We ask them to toe the line and give it a good effort. We really front load our season to where we've got some tough ones early, especially before Christmas break. So just asking them to have a championship mindset and the mind of a competitor and go out there and give it their best shot every time. Regardless of the outcome, we want to see people try to score points and try to win matches. So we try not to hold back in that regard. But so far, I've been pretty pleased. I think we've had some kids that are really turning the corner, and we've got a lot of veterans on the team, both boys and girls. So that helps. Leadership in the room's great. So it's good there. It's been great so far.
You mentioned, getting them in shape. Like, at what point of the season do you kind of see that? Because it's kind of tough. Like, all the winter sports are the same way. You get that break, and then you get back into January. But when do you kind of see, all right, hey, we're in true shape?
For us, we really don't see that until late in the year, honestly. And we do that on purpose. The beginning of the year, we're more trying to knock the rust off and get back on the mat a little bit, get back in the competition flow of things. And then after Christmas break, we have a tournament first weekend. We go to Norton. We just got done with that one this last weekend. And then after that, we start pushing the conditioning really hard. We do a lot more live wrestling. We do some conditioning before practice and after practice. Yeah, we really ramp it up now. And then we're looking to be in shape when the championship series gets here, regionals and state. And that's when we want to wrestle our best, and that's when we want to be in our best shape. So we're just training for that moment later in the year.
You mentioned some of the veterans that are coming back, but the overall depth. Do you feel like your overall depth is maybe the biggest it's been since you've been at Smith Center?
Yeah, I think so. I think top to bottom we're as loaded as we've been, especially on the boys' side of things. We've got some seniors that have been around a long time. Gannon McCoy, Parker Hutchison, Carson Montgomery, those guys have been around a long time, and they've won a lot of matches for us, and they're a great leadership presence in the room. And then some juniors that have done really well for us. Dominic Kattenberg won, Corey Weltmer, Isaac Stansberry. Some of those guys are returning qualifiers and even returning placers for us. And then we've got some young cats that come in, and we've only got one sophomore on the team, Gunnar Nichols. He's done a good job. He's really tough. He's really tough to score on. He competes hard. And then we've got a couple of freshmen coming in that are pretty promising. One of them is Gunnar's brother, Carson. He's done a really good job for us this year. And but what it comes down to is those older guys being able to push the ones below them to get better every day. And I think we've had that, especially on the boys' side. And as far as the girls go, we may be not as old as far as years in high school, but we've got a really good sophomore class that had a lot of success last year. And bringing them back has been huge, and they've really stepped up, and they feel like juniors and seniors, right? And then we've got some juniors that have done that as well. They feel like seniors. And we do have one really good senior leader in that group. We've only got one senior, Nevaeh Rohan, and she's a great presence for us in the room and does a really good job keeping everybody on track.
What are the numbers usually like for Smith Center? Like usually, like what type of numbers are we looking at for the whole squad, boys and girls?
Girls-wise, it's really starting to grow. We were probably late in the game getting girls' numbers up compared to everybody else in the state. So 2 years ago, we only had 5 girls come out. And then last year, we bumped it up to 10, and then we got 10 again this year. So that's holding kind of steady. I think we'll get some more as we go along. We don't have many upperclassmen right now, and we'll have some that'll come in. And then boys-wise, it's kind of what it's been for a little while. We've got 10 out this year. I think that's a good number for us. In the past, years ago, when we were winning state championships with the boys, we'd have 20, 25 guys out. But that's just not the kind of numbers we have in the school itself anymore. So, that's about how it's been.
You talk about Smith Center and, that long tradition. You mentioned, like, the state championships. Like, what is it like for you just being at a school, and especially, like, in the MCL that's had a lot of success with a number of teams, but Smith Center has been right up there. What's it like just being able to coach and just even the players being able to play for Smith Center?
No, it's awesome. There's a standard here that we try to uphold, and we don't bend it for anybody, or else it's going to break, right? So No, it's been really awesome. I'm fortunate enough to be from here and have went through this program myself as an athlete. So to kind of take it over and run it how I saw it run, and have the kids get out of it what I got out of it is the ultimate goal. And I think we're doing a good job of that right now. I've got a great staff that's on board with all the things that I want to do, and they are as knowledgeable, if not more knowledgeable than I am about wrestling. So that's awesome to have, and it's fun to be in a place where people care about it. The people in the community care about our athletics, not only wrestling, but everything we do. They care about it. They show up. They support it, and it's awesome to be in a place like that.
What did you get out of it when you were Redmond and competing for the wrestling team? Like, what did you get out of it?
Toughness. Yeah, that's the bottom line, is just toughness. How to go day to day and do things that really aren't very fun. And that's a lesson that I think everybody needs to learn at some point in time, that not everything you do in life is going to be fun and be easy, but there's a way to go about it, and there's a way to do it in a championship mindset, and the mindset of a winner. So that's what we try to instill in our kids now.
Did you think you'd be coaching back at Smith Center? Was that always part of the plan?
Not initially, no. When I left from here, I guess I can't say I saw myself being back in this specific role, but the farther I got through college, the more I thought coaching was the thing I wanted to do, and one thing led to another, and here I am, and I couldn't be more happy about it.
What have you kind of learned in your coaching career? Like, how have things kind of evolved for you, like from year one to now?
Yeah, no, I learn something every day, and I don't know if that'll ever change, and I love that about coaching and coaching wrestling specifically. Just how to relate to kids. I had a bunch of good coaches throughout my career, both high school and college, that were really good at relating with their athletes. And so trying to take some of that stuff that they taught me to be able to relate to a kid, because I know how it is being in high school, and sometimes it can be really tough. So being able to help them out and be on their side is something that I try to get better at and learn all the time.
Obviously, this time of the year, you're trying to focus on you and just get those individuals better and just as a team. But how much do you kind of pay attention to, I don't know, say the rankings, but just the area athletes and just the athletes that you might have to contend with at the state championships?
Yeah, I mean, the position we're in, we're going to be in the toughest regional in the state, and that's just how it's going to be. And we got to prepare for that. So we do need to go out and see those kids to see what we're up against. There's rankings out there, and you can look at those, and sure we do, but it's not what it comes down to. It comes down to who is better at the end of the year. And right now we may drop a match to a kid that we feel like maybe we should beat, or vice versa, right? And we just need to win that match when it matters. But yeah, we need to go out and see those guys. Fortunate for us that the MCL is really, really tough.
Yeah.
So our league tournament's a great precursor to the regional tournament. And our regional tournament is a great precursor to state. And that's what's great about being in the toughest regional in the state, is that if you make it out of there, you've got a really, really good shot at getting on the podium at the state tournament.
Well said. Hey, Avery, appreciate your time, and best of luck the rest of the season.
Yeah, thank you.
That is Avery Hawkins, the head wrestling coach for Smith Center High School. We'll have more of the show right after this.